which is enhancing global warming. Yeah,
Yep.
it's just accelerating
Yep.
natural, there's natural cycles, but
Sure.
we're on a man-made acceleration
Yep.
of a cycle right now. So, and it's pretty hard to see a way past that,
Yeah.
in our generation with what we know. So what we're doing is getting information. Yeah, we're getting the data so that we can understand if these impacts are really as significant as the doomsdayists could say,
Yeah.
or alternatively, as what is predicted by all of the models. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
so the models are saying, hey, it's looking pretty bleak with climate change. So is this coral reef, which is the proverbial canary in the coal mine?
Yeah. Sure.
So you take a canary in the coal mine, and if there's no oxygen, the canary dies.
Yep.
If the canary dies, you get out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So if the coral dies, do we need to get out? We've got nowhere to go. There's no planet B.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So we need to fix the problem. So the idea is, if these climate change driven impacts are happening right now on this planet, we need to do something to stop what's driving the climate change.
Yeah, and we know that science is very much evidence based, and that we've got the Great Barrier Reef is such an enormous size, and there's so much going on within the reef in different sections that we're very reliant on passionate people like Dave, so that we can collect data, correlate evidence. We can then sort of hypothesize the future, and hopefully the more people that get out here and see this amazing system, the biodiversity that we've witnessed today has just been incredible. We've gone from quite sort of deep reef at sort of 20 metres through to sort of shallow coral caves, and it's just been incredible to be out here firsthand and witness it. So thanks very much for saying a few words with us today. We appreciate your passion, your drive for taking people out there and showing them all that's available here. I think it's definitely through, experiencing, places and spaces like this that we can sort of appreciate our love of the reef and want to get better. What about any final words, Dave, for the people at home? This video is made specifically for sort of Year 7 students who are studying ecology, studying basic food webs, food chains, and I don't think there's a better example of, the biodiversity that you can see in a small underwater patch than what we've witnessed here today.
Absolutely. Where we are at Wheeler Reef, we're in a long-term green zone, so it's been protected from fishing.
Yep.
So you asked about some of the impacts. We only just touched on the climate change driven impacts. There's other impacts like water quality and overfishing is one that really gets me, right? It's these reefs like Wheeler Reef that we've seen today is super diverse, and I've seen this reef hit by many impacts in 30 years of coming here. It's been hit by cyclones, it's been chewed out by crown of thorn starfish, it's been bleached white with mass bleaching events. And this little reef has been able to recover.
Wow, incredible.
It's got resilience. It gets a nice bit of current and wave action that helps. Brings nutrients, all that sort of stuff. But it's the base diversity that it has. So in that protected status, it has been able to recover way faster than many of the surrounding reefs that have been fished.
Yeah, sure.
And that are overfished. And overfishing is a very understated problem on the Great Barrier Reef. The reason it's understated, it's political.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I guess we're very lucky that we do have these green zones, these protected areas that that we can come and observe and view and look at the different sort of habitat. And definitely, what I've noticed this week is we've been in blue zones where you can fish, and we've been in green zones where people can't fish. And you're definitely seeing a lot more of your larger predators. Coral trout, sweet lip.
Absolutely.
Spanish mackerel kind of cruising through these waters, probably because they are protected more so than those other areas that aren't protected. So that's a very good point that you raised. So how do we do things more sustainable? How to protect this great space? They're all inquiry questions that we'd like our students to be able to look into in the future. Look into some of these human impacts, to some of these naturally occurring environmental impacts. And what can we do to make a change or to make a difference?
It's a really challenging question, and a really good question for a high school age audience, because it actually involves a whole heap of key stakeholders. So there's different groups involved. There's environmentalists, there's urban developers, there's fishermen, there's commercial fishermen, recreational fishermen, there's
cane farmers,
tourism operators. There's your whole agricultural industry, your cane farmers, your cow farmers, all this sort of stuff that can influence the quality of the water into the Great Barrier Reef. So there's many different stakeholders, and this is the juggle that the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park Authority have to deal with daily when they're talking about this. I'd love to see the whole reef rezoned so that 50% of the reef is protected. Green zone.
Yep.
Yeah, it's nowhere near that at this stage. I'd love to see that, but the authority is terrified of that. There was a rezoning in 2004. It was a really good step in the right direction. But it's such a political beast.
That different stakeholders all having different needs, and that
there's people that were there when that happened in 2004 in the authority that are terrified of having to do that again. So I understand that, but it really needs to happen.
So I guess as a student of in grade 7, like you eventually will become the decision makers that will have the power to influence your decision, and I'm seeing definitely a new age of environmental activism around protecting these great wild spaces and protecting places that we love to visit. So thanks very much, Dave. Appreciate all the time that you've spent in talking to us, and hopefully you've inspired the next generation to protect the Great Barrier Reef. And thank you so much for facilitating all our diving as well in this adventure.
It's a pleasure, and thanks for helping out with the crown of thorns starfish down there.
No worries. All right. Thank you.